Hey guys, doing a quick update here from Portland. This is Kelli Stewart here, just giving you guys a quick update on the afternoon. There's a good group of people inside the courthouse. That's been great to see. All the same people that were there for the last trial are in there showing support, so thank you Sherry with Readout News for making the trek down here and trying to get the coverage, and also to the Cannons for making the trek down here. And John also for coming, and Lee and Becky and Luana. It's good to see everybody showing up to support these guys. So let's see. There's so much that some days I just want to say you guys got to come down here and experience this stuff for yourself, because it's absolutely sickening. It is absolutely sickening to sit in these courtrooms and listen to this judge talk about our constitutionally protected rights and our founding fathers and how sacred the old documents are that she wants to preserve by granting these people a trial by jury. The only reason these people are getting a trial by jury is because the government hasn't chosen to remove that yet. The government has chosen in other areas, like with their misdemeanor charges, to refuse them the right to have a trial by jury. So when she sits there and says to the jurors, thank you so much for being here, you guys are a part of history, you're what our founding fathers wanted to set into place for the people of this country to be protected by a jury of their peers, and all I hear is this, because I know that as much as she wants to say that it's our right to have a trial by jury because the Constitution says so, the Constitution says a lot of things that Congress has allowed to be altered or abolished by making it a new law, right? The law that you have to register your guns. The law you have to ask permission to hunt. The law that you have to get permission from the judge to find out if they're going to give you a trial by jury or not if it's a misdemeanor charge. You guys, there's so many things. There's so much hypocrisy in our courts. For anybody who doesn't realize that we are absolutely at war with our government, as far as fighting for the Constitution and our constitutionally protected rights go, if you don't know this by now, it's because you have been sucked into apathy and you are choosing not to look around at the suffering around you. Josh Martinez could potentially spend 6 months in jail if he is found guilty. If he pleads out, he's going to spend 45 days in jail. 45 days that our tax-paying dollars have to have him in a facility being held. Why? Because he wouldn't give up his date of birth. You guys, this is absolutely ridiculous. He is not... Our jails are not meant to keep people in there who have pissed off the police. Our jails are meant to keep people in there who are a threat to the public. A threat to the public. The men in this courtroom in Portland, they are not a threat to the public. They are a threat to a tyrannical government. All right, 12 jurors are going to be picked. They're going to have the juries in place by the end of this week. Opening arguments are going to begin next Tuesday, no court Monday for President's Day, and then it will go Tuesday through Friday. Every other week, it will only go Thursday or Monday through Thursday because they have Fridays off. So next week it'll be a little different. It'll be Tuesday through Friday. Opening arguments beginning on Tuesday. Every other week after, Friday's off. She's anticipating this case to go 4 weeks. She said a few things to the jurors that just really made my stomach turn. One of the things she said is, everybody in this courtroom has a lawyer. Okay, we're talking about people here, right? Everybody in this courtroom has a lawyer representing them. Each of the 4 defendants have a lawyer representing them. Jason Patrick is representing himself, but he still has standby counsel that he can refer to if he needs any assistance. And then they said the government also has lawyers representing it. That caught my attention when she said it, because she just got done saying everyone in this room has lawyers representing them, people. The government has lawyers representing it. How can you be taken to court by an inanimate object? How can you be taken to court by an it? There is no victim here, you guys. They occupied a public facility. How does that affect the government? How can they be getting taken to court by the United States of America, the United States of American government? Does that not seem a little bit crazy to anybody else that they occupied a public facility? It's not the manager of the facility that's taking them to court because he's suing them because he couldn't come to court that month. That I could understand. Okay, let's go to court. Let's determine if they had the right to be there or not. But to be taken to court by an inanimate object is just ridiculous. Another thing she said is to the jurors that bugged me is she said, your role as a juror is the most important role in this democracy. It's listed in the Bill of Rights of our Constitution. It's a sacred role that's protected. Your job is to look at the evidence. That is what you decide on. Then you apply the facts as they apply to law. The law will be explained to you by the court, whether you agree with the law or not. Your job is to determine if the evidence shows that the law was broken. So, do you need to head in? Okay, all right. So going back to that, so you guys say we have the right to a trial by jury. This is a really good thing, right? You only should consider this sacred, that we have a jury of our peers. If the jury of their peers can use their own brains to decide if you are guilty, truly guilty of a crime or not, you should be able to use your own mind, your own conscience, your own understanding of our God-given rights in this country. But what they've done is they've perverted this by saying, this is what makes us so much like China that people don't want to admit. They say, well, in China you just get killed, right? In America you just get incarcerated the rest of your life. Who has more rights? Those who got killed in China or those who got wrongfully incarcerated the rest of their lives? And the government made money on them while they were incarcerated. Let that sink in for a minute. In China, they're almost being a little bit more humane because they're not continuing to financially benefit from their hostages that they're keeping, because they're basically exterminating them. In America, we are all about money. We want to keep making money on people. So criminals are a really big money maker in our nation. So it's a really big deal that they continue, these lobbyists continue to make sure to put laws in place that you almost can't help but break. There's so many laws. There's so many laws. Try to make lotion and go and sell it on the side of the street. You'll find yourself in jail. There'll be copyright infringements. There'll be mislabeling of infringements. There'll be all kinds of things that you did that you broke restrictions and found yourself in jail, because our government makes money on criminals. On their definition of criminals, they make money. If a law is unconstitutional and one of our legislators and our wonderful lobbyists get it passed and get it put into place as a law, and you hold on to your God-given rights listed out in the Constitution, and you say, I am not going to be swayed from our founding fathers and the law, the document that you say is the supreme law of the land. I'm not going to be swayed from it. So you stand on that. But then you come into court and you say, it's okay because I'm going to have a jury trial, and the jury is going to see that I was breaking no law in the Constitution. But then the jury is told that the court is who explains to them the law, and that it's not their job. She said, it is not your job to determine whether or not you agree with a law. It's your job to determine if the person broke it. Do you guys understand that old saying, first they make criminals and then they prosecute them? Have you guys read 3 felonies a day? First, this nation makes criminals and then it prosecutes them to make money. And that's exactly what we have happening here. We have Americans who abided by the Constitution, stood up to the government in Harney County and said, we now have to occupy this land because you're using it to abuse people. And see, we're Christians and we love our neighbors, so we can't let you keep doing that. Our founding fathers wouldn't want us to let you keep doing that. There goes my notes. So we're going to come in and we're going to do what our founding fathers told us to do. But then you're going to go and you're going to prosecute us, and you're going to lie to the American people and say that they get to determine our fate because it's constitutionally protected. But the act in which we did by occupying the refuge was also constitutionally protected. This is called hypocrisy. It's called hypocrisy, okay? So sitting in these courtrooms and hearing her talk about our founding fathers literally made me want to throw up. Our founding fathers said that we could overthrow our government if they became tyrannical. Our founding fathers said the federal government was not to own land, that was supposed to be reserved for the states. Our founding fathers said the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. What is so confusing about shall not? When I tell my kids, you shall not leave after 5 o'clock at night, and at 5:30 they leave, and they say, well, the sun hadn't set, you said 5, but it wasn't dark yet, so it was kind of like it was 4:30. No, I said shall not. You're grounded. This isn't confusing for my children, and yet it's confusing to our government because we've allowed them to take and pervert what the founding fathers planned for a free people. It's sickening. I'm sorry, that's a little bit of a rant, but it's just disgusting. It's disgusting that turtles are more important than people. It's disgusting that people want to spend all day watching eagles be born at the zoo while babies are having knives shoved in their heads because they're still inside the cavity of a woman, so therefore they don't have any rights, but we better watch this eagle be born, and we better protect the life of these turtles and not protect the lives of what about the landowners? When we say to women about abortion, I know I'm going on a tyrant. When we say to women about abortion, you have the right to choose. Doesn't a landowner have the right to choose if turtles or cows live on their property? Don't they? Doesn't a state get to decide if the turtle or the cow is more important to them? If a woman gets to determine if life or death is okay because it's her body, then why don't the people in the state of Oregon get to decide what goes on their land? Why do environmentalists get to come in and use their bullying tactics and their lobbying tactics to get laws put into place that shackle the American people and take away their rights to graze on land that is supposed to be allowed for them to graze on? Truth is a lie and lie is a truth. Okay. I only caught a few minutes. Gavin Syme did a video. I don't know everything that happened, but I understand from the 2 minutes that I watched of it, somebody knocked a camera out of his hand. It sounds like it was one of our people on the ground in Nevada. If that was you, shame on you. Shame on you. Because Lavoie would never infringe upon somebody else's rights like that or take away their liberties. He would never knock a camera out of somebody else's hands. And he also would not use such foul language while he's live streaming. So if you want to carry his flag, clean up your language and clean up your behavior and figure out how to be principled or get out of this movement. Not that it's much of a movement because it's not even going anywhere outside of what the Bundys do and the Finnecums. So there's my rant. That's what happens when I spend too many hours in a courtroom. I get a little bit testy and I just say it like it is. So that's all. Head over to Gavin's page if you can and watch that video, and if you guys can figure out it's at the very beginning, somebody knocks the camera out of his hand, and whoever that is, everybody please call them out, let them know that was absolutely just unacceptable and unprincipled and so childish. My kids don't even knock my phone out of my hands when they're upset with me. So let's make sure that we're being principled, and I hope that whoever's on the ground in Nevada today takes care of that. Because that's very concerning behavior for anybody who wants to carry Lavoie's flag and act like they're representing the Finnecum family, because that doesn't represent the Finnecum family. So that's all. I'm gonna head back in and see what happens at the second half of this. For any of you guys who have forgotten, the people that are holding our prisoners, our friends, hostage and making money on them are not our friends. So we can be kind to people and we can love them, but please stop acting like people are our friends who are abusing people and holding them hostage, because that's not loving. That's not loving at all to your neighbor who's being abused by that individual. So be principled, but let the people know who are holding our friends hostage that you don't agree with their behavior and you don't agree with the mockery that they're making of the United States Constitution and what this country was supposed to be founded on. Be bold, speak truth. You don't have to be rude, but good heavens, you guys, start speaking truth and quit being so darn afraid to look at somebody who's a murderer and say, hey, I love you, but by the way, you're a murderer. And I really hope you repent and turn and learn what it means to love your neighbors yourself. Quit shaking hands with the enemies, guys, and find some courage and some principled behavior to go and talk to these people and let them know that you're watching and that you don't approve of the things that they're doing. So, okay, that's all. I'm gonna get back inside. Bye, guys.